Alright guys, welcome back to Conquer and Commander, and today we're doing something a little bit different. What I wanted to do was essentially go over all the YouTube channels out there that cover Commander gameplay, whether it's one-on-one or group. Basically what I was doing the other day was I was clearing out all my subscriptions, and I was realizing that while I did have a few people that I knew out there that produced gameplay videos, it's not all that many. So this is an opportunity for you guys to see other people who you may not know about, and for in case I missed somebody, for you guys to tell us about who out there has Commander gameplay. But I guess before we go on to that, I just wanted to give a brief overview here about this channel. This is Conquer and Commander. This is essentially where I put out gameplay videos on a weekly basis, typically featuring a new deck every week. And really what this whole channel is about is supporting my articles that I have out here. Every week I write articles for puremtgo.com. If you go back and you check out my articles, it provides the deck lists and the videos and a little bit more about each of the games. The link will show you all 130 something of my articles. God, I've been writing a long time. So check it out. The link's up here, my EDH article archive. There's also my Google Plus page and my Facebook page, but not really caring about that. Basically, I'm all about multiplayer. You can check out my recent uploads here, and then my popular ones, my playlists. Every time I have a new deck, I put playlists up so that you can take a look at them in specific. Like the Nin the Paint Artist deck has all 5 of the videos, and if I play games, I'll shove them in there. I've also got playlists for the live gameplay vids and the Two-Headed Giant Commander, and the bottom stuff is just stuff that I liked. Occasionally I do get questions. Have you done this deck? Have you done that deck? It's real easy, guys. All you got to do is hit the search button right here, and let's say you wanted to know about my slivers. Well, I've never actually made a sliver deck, but you can take a look at every time I've played against a sliver deck. Here's Sliver Overlord, Sliver Overlord, Sliver Queen, Sliver Queen, Sliver Queen. So there's a bunch of slivers in the past that I've played against. Once you hit the playlists, that means that's it. So, it's real easy to find different decks and stuff like that and take a look. Like I said, I try and get stuff out every week, like at least 3 games and then 1 deck tech. Feel free to contact me if you have any requests or questions or anything like that. What I want to do is go ahead and go through all my Commander dudes, and we'll just go in order here. First up, we've got Royal Al. Now, Royal Al and I know each other on MTGO. We play games with each other every once in a while. Royal likes to play live games, whereas I prefer recorded games. And he has a couple different decks that he plays with a lot. He primarily focuses on 1 versus 1, but occasionally jumps in with Two-Headed Giants and multiplayer. But like I said, mostly it's 1 versus 1. He's got a couple decks that he plays a lot, or has played a lot in the past. A Kiki Jiki deck, a Grand Arbiter, Augustin the Fourth. But here's Godo and Numot and Heliod. He's got playlists too. When you play 1 versus 1, it's a little more cutthroat, I think. And some of his decks are a little more cutthroat than mine, but not a whole ton. But he usually brings something new with each of his different decks that he plays. So Royal Al, and what I'll do is I'll put a link in the video description to his channel, and if I'm smart, I'll even put up a little pop-up box or something like that. Alright, next guy we got is Cactus Magic. This guy basically, it looks like he's doing Hearthstone. He does 1 versus 1 live gameplays as well, but his thing, and he basically likes to take them out, and he keeps track of his games. You'll see Damia 654. He'll play 6 or 7 games with them over a course of a couple of weeks or something like that, and then he'll ask you guys what you guys want him to play as well. This guy, when I first found him, He's very energetic and very excitable, and sometimes I can see how listening to him he can kind of turn people off. But I enjoy it. He's funny. He keeps me entertained when I listen to him. Again, 1 versus 1 live gameplays. Next up, we've got Mark Agel. And this guy does a combination of live games, primarily live games. He has a couple decks that he really likes to play, the Mimeoplasm and Gave. Primarily he plays 1 versus 1 live games, but he also does occasionally jump into the Two-Headed Giant and multiplayer. He also branches out a little bit, and he plays Legacy, some combo decks, occasionally some tribal decks, some other stuff as well. But like I said, it's almost all 1 versus 1. I enjoy this guy. He, here's the Legacy Tribal Eldrazi deck, Meritocracy, but he loves his Gave deck, and he plays that bad boy a lot too. So he's somebody else to look at and get some live gameplays. Next up, we've got Tristan Simpson. Now, Tristan doesn't do MTGO gameplays. He does real-life gameplays. And his stuff is excellently produced. And as such, he doesn't really come out nearly as often with new stuff. But, it's usually worth the wait. You can see him. He does Plane Chase Commander, too, which is pretty neat as well. So it's a little different than the usual
Welcome
stuff.
to a 4-player game of Commander Plane
Like I
Chase,
said, he'll come out like once every couple weeks with a video, but obviously these things take a lot more time and effort than the stuff I put together. Alright, so next up we've got Shaggy 42022. He doesn't have as big a library as some of these other guys, but I've played with him a couple times. He's a good guy, and he mixes back and forth between 1 versus 1 and Two-Headed Giant. He was actually on a pretty big Commander Two-Headed Giant kick on MTGO for a while, but he will do 1 versus 1. Most of his stuff is live gameplays. Almost all of it is, actually. So if you prefer live stuff, he does it all live. I do have to warn you, though, some of his older videos have some sound problems, but it seems like that's gone away. And he does do a couple of games with a buddy of his as well, doing Two-Headed Giants. So I enjoy this stuff as well. He's got some pretty good decks. He bounces around a little bit between Animar Surge and Nekuzar and stuff like that. So he's definitely somebody worth watching. After him, we've got Laska Hunter 7. This guy did a couple of 1 versus 1 replay videos, and he started doing in an Anatomy of Commander games. Yeah, he had some Jace and Azusa games here too, but he hasn't updated in a month. So I'm a little curious about what's happened with him. We'll see what happens. But he's got, he talks about Commander a little bit and gets into some more details there, so worth keeping an eye on. Next up, we've got Matt Holden, who's another guy who does live in real life videos, and he doesn't have many, but they're worth the wait. You know what? They come out every once in a while. Excellent production values, good sound.
Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of
he basically
Pause this video
it's
now
just
if you want
good.
to take
It's
a
really
look.
good stuff. Just like Tristan Simpson, they take their styles are a little different, but they do stuff like play Plane Chase and stuff like that. And you'll see him throw funny little things up in there.
At the start of Russ's turn, he took 1 damage from his tapped mana ball.
So
He cast
it's
Acid on Warhammer and rolled Chaos
I mean
with
they're
Planar
well
Die,
produced
but
and
had
well
not
worth
cast with
watching.
extra mana. On Rob's turn, he rolled Planeswalker.
So if you like seeing the live gameplay stuff,
Chaotic Ether,
check
which
this
meant
out.
all
Next, I've got Top and Go Productions here. Top and Go doesn't necessarily deal in live gameplay or gameplay period. Mainly Top and Go does deck techs, but you'll see they actually have a decent amount of gameplays with older stuff here. They've got 13 videos, and they put new gameplay videos up like about once a month, maybe a little less often than that, but a lot of it's live in real life gameplays. They do 1 versus 1 and group games. So the production values are good. You know, they obviously put some thought and effort into it, and it's worth checking out. So
next turn, I laid down a dust bowl and put
the deck techs are good too, but you know, I'm looking for gameplays. Nope. Let's see what else we got here. Next up, we've got Lieutenant Riggs, who I just found very recently. He bounces back and forth between live games and taped games or recorded games. Not recorded, replays. And he basically, like, I haven't seen him play a game more than play a deck more than 3 times. He's bounced around between Two-Headed Giant and some fun, goofy decks like Shadowborn Apostle and Relentless Rats here. But a couple of these guys he's played more than once. He's got Omnath and Jared and Grand Arbiter. But he's worth keeping an eye on. You know, like I said, he bounces back and forth between taped stuff and live stuff. Primarily live stuff, I think. But he's worth checking out. Next up, we've got Commander decks. They don't do any. I mean, they've got a bunch of deck techs, but they don't do any gameplays. MTG Radio. Okay, so this guy was on hiatus for a little while and then started putting stuff up. I believe he actually writes articles over at Star City Games. This is all live gameplays. It's all multiplayer. It's all live. He also does deck techs, but it's all live gameplays. This guy talks really friggin' fast, like super fast. Sometimes I have a hard time keeping up with him, and I just can't. I don't know how he manages to keep it up. He kind of posts inconsistently, so you know you can't expect regular content from him. But he is entertaining. He's got a lot of opinions and ideas and theories about the format, so he's definitely worth noting and checking out. Next up, we've got Life is for Magic. I consider this guy to kind of be very similar to the Mark Angel player. 1 versus 1 deck techs, or not even deck techs, but 1 versus 1 live gameplays. He bounces back and forth. He creates a lot of different decks. We've got Sekuar, Nath, Sig got 2 games, Nylea, Perforos got a couple games, Orloro got a couple games, Erebos. So he bounces around, you know. Aurelia got a couple games. Kira, Great Glass Spinner. He likes to make decks. He makes pretty consistent. He loads stuff up pretty consistently. They're all these games are 1 versus 1, and they're all live too. So, you know, he's definitely worth knowing about as well. Finally, we've got Brian Weissman, who 1 versus 1 replays. These are almost all replays. He basically has an Omnath deck, a Nin deck, and an Edric deck that he really likes to play. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you go back older, I think he's got a couple of other decks, but he does have a decent amount of decks. He's kind of inconsistent in terms of how often he posts, but he does post a lot when he's on board. So anyhow, those are the guys that I know about. Now, there are some guys that used to post but haven't posted in like 6 months or a year. I'm not really paying attention to those guys anymore. There's a bunch of other guys that produce just deck techs, and you know, I'm not so much on those guys anymore either. You know, and then there's your like your guys that actually produce a lot, like a wide variety of content, and not necessarily Commander. Star City Games, however, has versus Commander. They have got a nice little. They've been producing stuff. Here's their versus series right here. They've got like a decent amount of games that they put up as well. Let's see your whole deck list here. Playlist. You do have to deal with ads though. Whatever. They've got a bunch of different videos and stuff like that. It's all live action. It's all 1 versus 1, which is a little disappointing. It would have been nice to see some group stuff. But anyways,
all right, guys,
there is all that. Production values aren't.
Battles of allies versus the Togs.
They're decent, but not as good as the Matt Holden and Tristan Simpson guy.
Royalty goes first? I want to go first.
No.
So anyways,
well, how about this?
if you have channels with gameplay, Commander gameplay, 1 versus 1 or multiplayer, live or on or MTGO or in real life, let us know. Put it in the comments, and because I'm interested, and I'm sure other people are as well. All right, guys. Hope you liked this overview. Thanks a ton.